Hello and welcome guys, my name is Ralph. For today we're gonna do the front-end library certification by FreeCodeCamp. We have already done with the responsive web design and the JavaScript algorithms. So let's start with the Bootstrap. As you can see, I already answered 9 challenges. That's because I accidentally clicked stop when I'm recording. So yeah, I regret it. So let's start with the introduction again. So Bootstrap is a CSS framework with pre-built CSS and styles and classes plus some JavaScript functionality. So it comes with a 12-column grid layout and has design templates for buttons, image, tables, form, navigation, and so forth. So to know more about it and how to include Bootstrap in your projects, visit Bootstrap. Here's the link, and I think we're ready. Let's go to the first lesson. Okay, this is not the first lesson, I think. Yeah, this is the first lesson. I was just overwhelmed by the code base. It's pretty large. So what we're going to do is I'll just um answer the below instructions because I already know Bootstrap, even though I haven't answered all. So let's run the test here. Your div element should have a class container fluid. So in this case, we've already added blah 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 blah. To get started, we should nest all of our elements except the link tag and the style elements. So let's disregard this one. Let's copy this one and create a div closing with the class of container fluid and copy below code. So as you can see, it has a margin now. Let's try to remove the container fluid here. You see the difference? So yeah, let's run the test and go to the next challenge. Okay, make images mobile responsive. So what are the instructions here? Add the image responsive class to your image. Okay, add the new image first. Okay. The instructions is the whole sentence. I mean the whole, what do you call this? The whole content. So this is the source, and let's add it here. Image. I think we can SelfClose here. This class image responsive. So image responsive makes this image responsive in all viewport. So yeah, let's submit and go to the center text with Bootstrap. This one is just like margin auto for elements or text align for text elements. So the H2 tag is here. Let's nest it with red text. Text center. Okay. Run the test and submit and go to the next challenge. Create a Bootstrap button. Create a new button element below your large kitten. So this one is the large kitten image, and let's create a button here as expected by the button, and like is the text here, and we need to add a class of button and button default. So yeah, let's run the tests, submit and go to the next challenge. This one is create a black element Bootstrap button. So this button will take up 100% of the available width. Okay, so I think we're just gonna add a button block here, btn block. Okay, it takes up the whole width. This is an image. It's just slowly loading because of my internet. Bear with me please guys. Run the tests and Let's go to the next challenge. Paste the Bootstrap button color rainbow. Replace Bootstrap button default with the primary. Where's the primary? I mean the default. Here. Primary. Run the test, submit and go to the next challenge. Call out optional actions with button info. So we're just gonna, as I remember, we're gonna create another button and info. Okay, run the tests. Submit and go to the next challenge. Warn your users. I think that's similar with the previous challenge. Just changing this into delete and this one into danger. Okay. Next is use the Bootstrap Grid to put elements side by side. So this one is similar to display grid on HTML, or it can be achieved with Bootstrap Flexbox. HTML Flexbox. So what we're going to do here is create a div with the class of row, and then we're gonna add 3 columns. Class call xs4. Since Bootstrap is using a 12 column grid system, we're just gonna divide the 12 into 3 columns. So 4 times 4 times 4. Let's copy this one here, then copy paste this one 2 times, and then cut this one, copy this one and replace it with this one, and same as the delete button. I think we are good now. Let's create a break here and then run the tests. Okay, this is where I left off. I mean, the previous challenge is where I left off. So ditch custom CSS for Bootstrap. We can clean up our code and make our cut photo up look more conventional by using Bootstrap built-in styles instead of the custom styles we created earlier. So don't worry, there will be plenty of time to customize our CSS later. Delete the red text, P, smaller images, CSS declaration from your style. So first is the red text. Okay, this one is irritating because I have slow net, but yeah, you can ignore that for the meantime. And then the P, and what else? Smaller image. Okay, so that the only the declarations left in your style is the H2 and the thick green border. I'm sorry. Then delete the P element that contains a dead link. This one. Then remove the red text class from your H2 element. Okay, then replace it with text primary Bootstrap class. So I think this will become color blue. Same with this one. And then finally remove the smaller image class from your first image element and replace it with image responsive class. This one is image responsive. Okay, what happened? Is my spelling correct? Okay, it's correct. Submit and go to the next challenge. Okay. So use the span to target inline elements. Here's how you would do this with top 3 cuts hate element. Okay. Nest the word love in your things cut love element below element, then give the span class. Where is the love? Things cuts love. Nest it with the span, and then add the class text danger. Okay. Create a custom heading. Okay. Nest your first image and your H2 element within a single div class row element. Nest your H2 element with div class access8 and your image. Okay, so this one will be on the same row. So let's nest this one now. Div class row, and then this one okay, H2 and H2 and what else? Div class call XS8 and this one. Let's create another column. Div class call XS4, and then let's put it here. Okay, let's run the tests. Okay, in this challenge, we're gonna add font awesome icons to our buttons. So you can include font awesomes in any app by adding the following code to the top of your HTML. So these are icons, popular icons. Oh, sorry. In this case, we've added it for you to this page behind the scenes. Sorry about that. The I element was originally used to make other elements italic but is now commonly used for icons. You can add the font awesome classes to the I element to turn it into an icon. Note that the span element is also acceptable for use with icons. So use font awesome to add thumbs up icon to your like button by giving an I element with the class pass and thumbs up. Make sure to keep the like next to the icon. So where is the like? Let's create a span. I. Then give it a class of thumbs up. Okay. Next one. Add font awesome icons to all buttons. Info circle and the trash icon. Delete. So let's add an I here. Class pass for info circle. And the other one, the delete button. I wonder if I can use a self-closing tag. Class is fast for trash. Maybe I should just use this one. Okay, what's the difference? I can self-close tag this I. Okay. Responsively style radio buttons. So you can use Bootstrap's call XS blah 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 class and from elements too. So nest both your radio buttons within the class row element, then nest each of them within a div class XS element. Where is the radio button? This one? Okay. Where is the button? Okay. Div class row. Div class call XS6. So 6 plus 6 is 12 and Bootstrap is a 12 column grid, so it's half. Okay, amazing. Let's run the test and go to the next challenge. I think we are gonna nest this one too. These checkboxes. Responsibly styled checkboxes. I guess correctly. Nest all the checkboxes here. Div class row. And this one's gonna be for class call XS4. Copy this one in 2 times. Copy this one into here and copy this one into here. Run the tests and let's go to the next challenge. Style text inputs as form controls. So you can add a paper plane font automaticon by adding blah 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 within your submit button element. Give your form text input field a class of form control. Where is the form? Here. Class is form control. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have added text input field. So this one. Class is form control. And then give your form submit button the classes btn primary. Class btn primary. So what happens when you disregarded this btn? It becomes the, I think, is that the default HTML button? Okay, I think so. Just with the additional border because of this btn primary. So let's add the btn again. Also give this button the font awesome icon p paper plane. I class pass paper plane. Okay, paper plane. Paper plane. Why is it what? Okay, before I use Bootstrap, it's F8, and then on our previous tasks, we need to add S, like that. So it's not working. Okay, let's just ignore that for the meantime. Okay, also give this button. All textual input text area and select elements with the class form control have a width of 100%. So they're like btn block. Line up form elements responsively with Bootstrap. Now let's get your form input and your submission button on the same line. We'll do this the same way we have previously by using div element class row. So 7 and 5. So 7 and 5. Div class row, and then we're gonna add a class of XS7 and then 5. Oops, this won't work because of the typo. And 5. 7 plus 5 is 12. Put this here and put this here. Okay, they're on the same row now. I think this challenge is purely mobile friendly, because it took a lot of white space here when its viewport size is a little larger. Nice. Okay, we're done with the cut photo up. Let's create a Bootstrap headline. So now let's build something from scratch to practice our HTML CSS Bootstrap skills. We'll build a jQuery playground, which will soon put your jQuery challenges. To start with, create an h3 element with the text jQuery playground. Color your h3 element with text primary and text center. Okay, next, house our page within a Bootstrap container fluid div. Let's create a container fluid. Next, create a Bootstrap row. Now we'll create a Bootstrap row for inline elements. Create a div element below the h3 tag. That's it. Row. It's not visible because it has no element inside. Create two div elements within the row, but class call XS6. Div class call XS6. Okay, similar to the previous challenge, not visible again. But if you want to, you can inspect this one and you will see the row beneath it. This one and this one. Create Bootstrap Wells. So Bootstrap has a class well that can create a visual sense of depth for your columns. Nest one div element with a class well. Div class well. Okay. Next, you should add the div element with the class well inside the each. So the two of them. All elements within your Bootstrap well. Add elements within your Bootstrap wells. Now we're several div elements deep on each column of a row. This is as deep as we'll need to go. Now we can add our button elements. Nest 3 buttons element within each of your well div elements. So any button 1, 2, and 3. Button 1, 2, 3. Okay, did I understand that correctly? Let's try to run. Apply the default Bootstrap button style. Class btn default. Okay, I'll just remove this one and copy this into 3 pieces. Run the tests. Submit and go to the next challenge. Create a class to target with jQuery selectors. Not every class needs to have corresponding CSS. Sometimes you create classes just for the purpose of selecting these elements more easily using jQuery. Sorry. Give each button elements the class target. Copy this one with the space so we don't have to add the space after we copied. Okay, we have a target class now. What's next? Okay, add ID attributes to Bootstrap elements. Recall that in addition to class attributes, you can give each of your elements an ID attribute. Each ID must be unique to a specific element and used only once per page. Let's give a unique ID to each of our div elements of class well. Remember that you can give an element an ID like this. Give the well on the left. Okay, get it. ID left well. ID center well. IDs right well. Right well. Okay, let's try to run it. Your left well should have an ID of left well. Okay, I'm sorry, I thought it was the buttons. Left well. Where is the well? ID is left well and ID is right well. Okay, I misunderstood the instructions. Okay, label Bootstrap Wells. For the sake of clarity, let's label both of our wells with their IDs. Above your left well, inside its call access div, add an h4 element. Add an h4 element with the text left well. And then here, let's move the extra spacing here. Right well. You should add an h4 element to each of your div class. H4 element. Okay. Sorry again. Not inside the well, but outside. Give each element a unique ID. We will also want to be able to use jQuery to target each button by its unique ID. Give each button a unique ID starting with target 1 ending with target 6. Let's add an ID here. Target 1, target 2, target 3, target 4, target 5, and lastly target 6. Let's run the test, and I think we're gonna use jQuery in the next video. So label Bootstrap buttons. Give each button's element text the corresponding to its ID selector. So this will be target 1, target 2, target 3, and this will become target 4, and so on and so forth. Okay, run tests. Your button element with the ID target 1 should... Okay, we missed the hash symbol. Next one is... I think this will be the last challenge. So when we start using jQuery, we will modify HTML elements without needing to actually change them in HTML. Let's make sure that everyone knows they shouldn't actually modify any of its code directly. Remember that you can start the comment with this symbol and this symbol and add a comment at the top of the HTML. Only change code above this line. Add the comment at the top of the HTML. Only change code above this line. Nice. So that's it for now. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.